I've been playing Roblox Tower Defense Simulator for years, and between playing the events, opening crates, making videos, there's been some odd things that have happened. In this video, I want to focus on the strangest and most uncommon events in TDS, from bugs and glitches to unlikely odds to meeting developers. Now I want to start off with the highest odds chance things. The rarity in this first occurrence is about 99%. Opening the badges menu, a placeholder badge may briefly flash into place. Depending on your internet speed, this may be for like a millisecond, or it straight up may let you just scroll through this. The perks of having bad Wi-Fi. This is the Strength in Numbers badge, and the funny part is it's actually unreleased, being one of a whole series of accomplishment badges, originally planned to be added around the hardcore update. Still, overall just a small thing, and not all that rare. Next though, this event has like both 0% and 100% rarity. Bear with me here. This looks like I'm just opening a crate, right? I mean, you can do this easily, just spend some coins, get a random skin, gambling. Except, there's not really a skin in this animation, you do get to keep the item. Now this one is a bit deceiving. I've never had this occur naturally, yet there is a way to guarantee it. Basically, by just resetting your character as you open a crate, some pretty weird stuff will happen, such as the aforementioned non-existent model, a skin appearing and then disappearing, poor Ducky Militant. The studio classified character name tags appearing for a 1/10 of a second over the developer statues. And in older builds of the game, things got even weirder. You can see in this video I took a year ago that there's no camera movement, and eerily, the paintballer skin I unboxed has no face, which is actually genuinely kinda creepy. As is this, standard TDS footage in the lobby with no user interface. Recently, this has occurred to me multiple times, and I'd give it about a 10% chance. In my case, this occurred just after I left the Polluted Wastelands game, and for some reason things just didn't load in. I couldn't actually play the game. The matchmaking statues were locked into these power stances, I guess, which made me feel a lot better, honestly. This is our first foray into TDS glitches, which can also extend into gameplay. Most times, the actual mechanics of towers and zombies are pretty unshakable in TDS, but I have had a few rounds where they behaved very strangely. Maybe like 5 seriously broken games in total. And considering I've played over 1,300 games across 2 accounts, that's about a 0.0038% chance. Yeah, pretty big jump there. For starters, there's this hardcore game I recorded over a year ago, where the zombies all bunched up into one overlapping group, and caused me to lose the game. Near the end of 2022, I recorded the weirdest game I've ever played, where the zombies all spawned, not exactly where they're supposed to be. My towers were still able to damage them, but visually, they appeared completely off the path, in the center of the map. There's zombies in the walls, there's zombies in the walls, there's zombies in the walls. I started taking some damage in wave 16, I don't know exactly what from, where I noticed the shadow and slow bosses had spawned in, and were for some reason floating over the water. It made for some cool footage, but did lead me to lose the game. I've had a few other glitchy gameplay moments, but this is by far the most broken I've seen TDS's actual gameplay, and it was an incredibly rare round. Yep, at least I actually got to play the game. Whereas with this next occurrence, okay, let me set the stage quickly. I was playing a game with souls, and I accidentally closed the game while joining. Yet when I reopened TDS, I had the option to use the rejoin feature. Curious, I did, and when I joined, I got placed in this game. I had no money, no towers, although I hadn't equipped any anyways, and there was no map or anything. Just an empty skybox which didn't let me spawn in. I tried picking a difficulty, but it wouldn't even let me start the game, and I left. This is the only time I've seen this, technically leaving the odds at about 0.0007%. But I would think it's almost certainly possible to replicate, which is why it's not quite as rare as the next glitch. This also occurred to me while I was recording for a video. I went to turn off my name tag for this shot, something I've toggled probably hundreds of times, and it didn't go away. I thought I'd like misclicked or something, and it wasn't until I turned my camera that I realized, yeah. The name tag became fixed in place, almost like a 3D decal or something. What's even weirder is that by changing the camera angle, I was able to change the position of the tag, and by moving my character, I could even leave my name behind. When I re-equipped it again though, it went back to normal, making me think it might have had something to do with where I was positioned on the map, maybe? It also could have been affected by the emote I was using, my internet, or some other stuff. I mean, depending on the variables, this might be like a 1% chance, or a 0.00001% chance. I'm not really sure, as despite a fair bit of trying, I couldn't replicate this. Next, there's the rarer events of a more simplistic nature, specifically finding the developers in-game. Now, as with any other random person playing the game, there's a million factors that affect whether or not you'll encounter someone. And if you consider TDS currently has a daily average player base of 12,000 people, and the developers typically aren't playing the game, your odds are getting pretty close to 0.000001%. The same percentage of people who are subscribed, And in my time playing, I've only encountered developers 3 times, kind of. One of which was not simple luck, as Bear or Nexture joined my game, and we got a massive fallen W. The other time is a bit more complex. This is Beef Choplets, developer of Tower Blitz and Evade. However, he was also a developer for TDS, before moving on to those other projects. And in the game of Tower Blitz, just under 2 years ago, which is why the frame rate here sucks, I randomly got in a game with him, and this guy, Cyberpunk fan, shout out. He used admin commands to spawn in the final boss, and then every other boss in the game. We lost, obviously, although I did earn these 45 tickets, which I think was actually kind of a lot. Obviously, this didn't take place in the game itself, but I consider it at least TDS adjacent. Finally, I have this clip of Belownatural and Razutix that I've used in a few videos, but you might notice that it kinda just looks like a default Roblox studio place, with character avatars loaded in. And while I haven't ran into them in the actual game, on October 29th, 2022, TDS publicly released a little matchmaking PvP test game. It had these 2 statues, and that's pretty much it. Despite my joining being 10 minutes after the announcement, I coincidentally ended up in the game with Below and Raz. They both tested the matchmaking script and left to other lobbies. Epic meeting the developers video. But you know, they're just people, they're just chilling. Finally, there's one more rarity, the quote-unquote infinite EXP glitch, 0.00000% chance, because it doesn't work. Basically, while recording this video, the 24-hour challenge, the Fallen badge awarded the EXP bonus 2 times for no apparent reason. My thought at the time was that it must have had something to do with the semi-convoluted way I joined the game, left during the mode selection, and joined back. However, I also didn't test it further this time because A, I was still recording for the video, and B, it's really annoying to do so. You need to make a new account and win Molten to get 1 chance to test it. In theory, this could be the most impactful of these occurrences, if it was infinitely chainable. So for this video, I decided to try to figure this out. I made a new account, carried myself to a Molten when using my phone, claimed the EXP, got to level 3, joined an elevator game with someone else, left while loading, rejoined, and to my surprise, I hit level 5. It had actually duplicated the EXP, which I thought was really weird. Like, if the method was so convoluted, why would it instantly work on a version of the game over a year newer? So I tested this again on another alt account, this time just claiming the EXP and then rejoining the game. And yeah, apparently you just always get the EXP reward twice. How did no one know about this? What? Or maybe the developers have known and just haven't cared to fix it, since it only really benefits the player. But I mean, this whole time I thought I'd found a really rare glitch, but no, I am not that guy. Maybe there is some potential for abusing this, but the setup to test it is really annoying, and when rejoining for a 3rd time, it never gave me more EXP. So I think it might be capped at 2. Comment down below if you've had any of these things happen to you, or if you've seen some even weirder glitches. Subscribe, leave a like, and thanks for watching.